chains, ain't no stopping, we were born to break the game. 1, 2, 3, too quick, can't catch us. Drip too clean, no stains on our technique. Talking big game, but they know they can't test us. If they want smoke, then we tell them come and get us. Yeah, they love the way we move, too smooth when we break the rules. Yeah, got the crown and we never lose. We don't follow, we set the groove. Yeah, lights flash, cameras on, go viral. Trendsetter status, yeah, we break cycles. Level up daily, got no rivals. Too iconic, this is our arrival. Switch it up, we elevate, no debate, keep it real. Never fake, heavyweight, talking tough. That's a big mistake, we accelerate, we don't hesitate, yeah.
And, oh, we lost Netcat, who was here in the back room with us. Hopefully he comes back. But hello to everybody out there in the YouTube world. It's good to be back. We've been away for a little while, and Netcat is back.
Sorry about that. It was open in Twitter and not my actual browser.
Okay. But yeah, we are back. It's good to be back. Been missing, I've been missing working, missing doing all this kind of fun stuff that we do and torture ourselves sometimes and having some great times. So sorry for the delay to everybody out there. We know it was a lot of last minute changes and some issues, some tech issues before we were going to go live too.
Well, yeah, you just shot me a link to the stream. I didn't even know what I was getting into.
Yeah, no, exactly. And no, so when I was gonna go on the computer, of course he was gonna fucking update,
Oh, don't you love that? Like if you're gonna
it's
go
always
stream
so fun,
or
yeah.
play a game, and it's like, oh crap, I'm up to update. I gotta go live. Son of
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's always annoying. It's like, God damn, I have to.
Yeah.
You
And actually, the funny thing is that I was just getting ready to set up my own stream when I saw you send me the link. So.
Oh. And yeah, you are also allowed to, stream this on your end if you ever want to. You're always allowed to do that.
Yeah, that's the point. I think I'll do that.
Yeah, no, you are allowed to do that, of course. We are that nice. We might be assholes too, but we are nice. We are also nice people.
We're nice assholes.
Yeah, we are nice assholes. That's a right way to say it. We are nice assholes. And then he kicked himself again. This is professional comeback for us.
Yeah, exactly. But it shows you even the pros can mess up. Hey, yes, we did.
Yes, exactly. And now he's back, so let's see.
But can we say doing this on mobile is really annoying?
Understandable.
I've been there, done that one time. I know what it is. It can be hard. I think I was on comic show one time, and I was on my way to a film, and I broadcasted for a short while from my phone. So it's like it has good quality though. It was the LG Velvet, really good mic. So I actually, Jay, I think you were talking to me one time, and I was over here, and you said my phone sounded good. So sometimes the phone can be really good quality sound because they have good mics.
Yeah, some phones can have good stuff too. But
but it's more that I accidentally hit back because I wanted to look at something, and it exited me from the entire stream.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was bitching about because I was like, wait, no, I didn't mean to exit the stream.
And yeah. I do want to say hail to FK. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. And I'm sorry for a delay again, but we are here, and we know we're gonna talk about stuff and shit like that, of course. But I am, of course, here today with, of course, Techno Sapien Geek, aka also Tom, and also our guest Netcat, who again, it isn't prismatics. It's kind of proven, we think, but still a little bit unsure.
Well, we've talked, but I mean, there's possibility of just of me switching back and forth between. I mean, there's that possibility.
Yeah,
but I mean,
voice mods to sound like two different people.
Yeah, I mean, if it all depends if you think that I'm talented enough to do that.
Oh, exactly. But no, we as normal as we're gonna go around the table a little bit. So Tom, what have you been up to lately, man? How's the channel going? And I've seen you have posted a lot of stuff. You've done a lot of
Busy.
wrestling videos and a lot of, gaming videos and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, the wrestling videos are truth. They WWE. It's no longer WWE. It's TKO. I'm not going to go into that, but it's now run like a business and not a wrestling company. It's sad day in wrestling. But yeah, video games. Oh my gosh, I'm not just a video game channel, but I've decided to incorporate that higher since it's what I do anyway. And I filmed in the last 5-6 days about 50 hours. It seems like
Yeah.
it anyway. I got the whole month of June covered now. I don't have to worry about any things. I broadcast usually on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I switch between Oblivion, the remastered, and Fallout 3 on the weekdays. And the weekend, I'm doing Sleeping Dogs right now. And yeah, I got enough covered till at least July 1st. So I did literally the most I've done in a short while. This past week, I got everything recorded, processed, boom, and it's all uploaded. I don't have to worry. And now this rest of the month gives me to work on my book, which I'm going to do. I'll still do some other stuff, hoping to get back on with Mike too and stuff. But yeah, no, I've been busy.
Yeah, no, exactly. I do understand that. And you, Netcat, I think haven't you been streaming Mass Effect?
Yep, but I've been bouncing between streaming Mass Effect. I recently finished Mass Effect 1, and I went directly into Mass Effect 2.
You know what's kind of funny? Because I did not know that you were actually, playing Mass Effect, right? Before I saw on your channel. And it's kind of funny because I recently also started playing Mass Effect.
Well, the funny thing is that streaming wise it's actually going back to the roots of my channel because I started streaming with Mass Effect. I was doing Mass Effect Insanity Run, and I was on Mass Effect 3, and I asked some friends if they'd like to actually watch me, and they're like, "Yeah."
So Mass Effect is really fun, but I do want to say, I really fucking hate the map in the game. That is a little bit not the best design of a map. It works, but it's a little bit annoying.
The fact that you have to go to the menu then go to the map is really annoying.
Yeah, that's what I hate about it, because I have to boom boom go back and forth in the game. I'm like, I just want to see the goddamn map and where I'm supposed to go.
A mini map would be nice, but if you but if you could just have one button to hit to go to the map, that would work. And honestly, in Mass Effect 2, there's less of an issue with that because unless you're in a town, that you don't have a map. So what you actually have is a little thing that tells you what's around you. And that's it.
Exactly.
That's right. Oblivion. Oblivion, you just hit on the D-pad. I forget which direction. Boom, it brings your map up. That's what they need to do, stuff like that, because it just boom, D-pad. Oh, there's your map. There's where I am. There's where I need to go. Boom. That's what I love. Oh.
But kind of my point is in Mass Effect 2 is that you don't even have a map. What it does is it gives you you have a navigation marker that goes, you probably want to go that way. And when you when you access your powers, it gives you a little radar of the enemies that are around you. So yeah, you don't even really have a map in the second one.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. The old school designs back in the day. But other than that, they're fun games. Like other than that, they're fun games.
Oh yeah. So right now I'm on Mass Effect 2 in what I call the team building phase of the game. I've got all my characters. Now I need to make sure that they're all loyal to me so that when we go through the suicide mission, which is the end part of the game, everyone will survive.
Yes, exactly.
Let me ask both of you guys now. Mass Effect, I've yet to get into it. I do want to play it. My buddy of mine have told me to try it. Should I get the new not the remaster, then when they re-released, or should I try to get the original?
Legendary? Yes.
Legendary, yes. Just good.
There is only one problem with Legendary Edition, and that's if you want to be able to play multiplayer. In Mass Effect 3, there was originally a multiplayer part of it where you could actually you fight along with other friends against the computer, and you'd be able to get points towards your campaign that way.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I just heard that
they did not implement that in Legendary Edition. Other than that, get Legendary Edition.
Yeah, I think Legendary is good, but everybody says skip the 4th game.
A lot of people told me though that
I don't say that actually.
Ones. So
I don't know yet. I have not played it yet. I have not played the 4th game yet, but I need to play through the trilogy first, and then I'm gonna buy the 4th one.
You have no idea how many times I've played through the trilogy.
No, I don't. But how's the channel gone, man? Like, have you gotten more subscribers? Have the viewing been really good? You know, at the gaming streams you're doing now.
It's been going up. Overall. I'm at about 320. I believe I'm at about 325 subscribers right now. So
yeah, nice.
It's going slowly but surely. And yeah. Good. It would be really nice if I could just get to the 500 and I know that there's the hour amount, but the way that I see it is that if I can get the amount of people, I'm not so concerned about the amount of hours, because that's just a matter of being dedicated enough to get them.
Yeah.
I know exactly. But no, that's good, man. And no, I need to get to watch more of your streams, but I don't want to see too much of Mass Effect. I don't want to spoil everything for myself.
But what I was going to say is with you commenting on the 4th Mass Effect, the thing about the 4th Mass Effect is that there are some it was put out during the time that the DEI stuff was running rampant, and there are some questionable decisions that were made quality wise, but
I've heard so.
Like there's famously one character saying my face is tired.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have the game and I've started playing it, and gameplay wise, the game has been good. And when I finish Mass Effect 3 on this playthrough, I'm intending to go into Mass Effect Andromeda. And from what I've played of Andromeda, it's a good game. So
this is the time where BioWare was a little bit better too.
And it's also it was also a time when people were getting exceptionally tired of anything that smacked of the bad stuff.
No, exactly.
Can I? Oh, sorry. Just my quick note when you mentioned that. I'm not. I know we're not going to talk about it today, but just to let people know. Of course, we know what month this is. Blah blah blah. I've been reading articles that DEI seems to be going away from gaming. A lot of companies are smartening up. They're like, we don't need this no more. And a lot of them are.
But hey, man, that is a little bit good of a segue too, because again, for many of us here on the panel and stuff like that, we think about Men's Mental Health Month in June, and that's also why I decided to come out about my addiction with alcohol that I've had for years. And, I wrote a long thing on X/Twitter about it and other platforms, and just spread awareness about it and all that, because I decided on the 17th of May, the Norwegian day, when we became our own country, etc. That day is the day I actually decided that I don't want to drink alcohol anymore. I'm going full sober. You know what I mean? And live a sober life. Thank you. And it's been a long journey, with alcohol through my life. I've also done drugs back in the day, and what I say about drugs is, that's easier to quit because it's harder to get by, with the certain stuff that I used through the years, right?
Yeah.
So that was easier to quit because it's harder to get them. But alcohol is a lot harder to quit. And again, we all know why. It's, it's right there in the store. And it's, every day you can just go and buy it if you have money. It's right there. Groceries, everything. Yeah. So so it's so easy to go back to it and stuff like that, and that's what I've done so many times in the years that I've always told myself I don't want to drink anymore. But and then you go through, because I'm open about this. It's June, the depression that I've suffered from, and PTSD I've suffered from my childhood, right? And stuff like that. Um, it just made me want to drink more and more, and I want to forget, wanted to forget everything that have happened in my life. I just, I want to fade away, right? Just want to fade
Yeah.
away, be drunk, fade away. And I will be honest and say this too, is that some of the streams that we have done back in the past, I decided to end them while we were streaming. Some of them, not all of them. Sometimes we had issues, but some of the older streams, I also just I just had to end them because I was getting too drunk. I started feeling bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was not in the right zone to stream, and my mood was shit. I was such in a bad place. And no, so this year I finally got what you call the courage to finally do it. Um because again, I have a supporting girlfriend who I always call my wife, because we are acting like husband and wife already, if you know what I mean. That's how
Oh
we
yeah.
are.
Hmm.
And also, I'm a stepfather to 3 kids. So that is the big reason that really inspired me to I have to I have to quit, because if I don't, I'm gonna lose what I have in front of me. That is what went
Yeah.
through my mind on 17th of May when we were out grilling, and I was looking at my family, and I'm like, if I continue this path, I'm gonna destroy everything in my life. Um, you know, I'm gonna
Hmm.
lose the things that I love in life. Um, and no, now I'm looking forward, and if you do have a problem with alcohol, there's always people you can reach out to, and get
Yep.
some programs and mental health and probably numbers too. Tom, you also have your book with people, if you haven't. Tom here, Techno Sapien Geek, has a fantastic book. I think more people should get into and read. It's really really strong, really good about mental health. So Tom, if
Actually,
you have
we
time, you
promoting it.
just
Yeah.
yeah, just share it in the chat here. But no, it is good. It is good. I'm looking forward. I have felt the changes in my body. It's more healthy. I am, more awake, more energy in my body, and stuff like that. So you know, really happy to become sober and continue that life.
Good.
But I will say it was really hard to be honest about the problem. It's like I've been honest about my drug problem because we had like streams and talked about stuff like that. But alcohol was like the hardest thing to admit, because first step in a program, you can call it, it is to be honest with yourself and
Yep.
get into terms that you have a problem with alcohol, or
Yep.
drugs, whatever it is. Um, so yeah, I just want to say that it's mental health, and mental health in general does matter. So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like I have done through the years, or how Tom has been feeling, and other people out there, try to reach out to people. Or find your own way that can help you. There's always something that can help you.
I'll just add to that if you don't mind. Quickly, I've had family members that have passed from alcohol. My uncle, who was more like an older brother to me, I loved him. I know he kind of he was. I have a dad, and I know I love my dad, but he was more like the older brother I never had. And but alcohol took him, and then my same with his sister, my aunt. It took her too, and most recently, my other aunt, she had but her drinking was bad too. So it's taken family members from me, and excuse me. This past weekend, when it comes to mental health, I didn't want to exist again. I'm not gonna lie. I just some stuff hit me, and I almost tried something again. Well, I almost came close to trying it. I almost did, but I did, And I'm still here for a reason again. But I suffer constantly with it, and reach out, even though I've tried to reach out to certain people and they don't exist no more, but it is what it is. But you still got to push on, even though I didn't want to at one point.
Exactly.
It's just, I'm still here. So I didn't succeed.
Yeah, and I'm happy you're here. And before we get more into this, I do see we have on Netcat's side of YouTube, because we're also streaming on his channel, because he's allowed to multi-stream this. And I guess that's one of your viewers.
Yep.
So Net, you have the
that'd
floor.
Be Morgoth. And yes, Morgoth and not so that this is me.
Yep. It is him.
Sorry, I wasn't actually looking at the chat.
And
hey
hail
guys.
Imperial, hail to you. Hail to everybody who is in the chat and here with us.
Yep. Hey guys, good to see you.
Good to see all of you.
Let me ask Netcats, since you stream, do you ever get into gaming where you forget to look at the chat and you're streaming for a while?
No, actually, I make a point of not streaming. If I'm not going to look at chat, I don't stream.
I'm so horrible that way, because actually Pop, a guy I stream with on Mike's show, Pop, great guy. But he was talking into the room. I was playing Destiny, and I get into it. I get lost, and I'm like, I look over. Oh, that was like 10 minutes ago. I didn't answer. It's like, darn it.
Yeah. So I do want to say, say to the chat, sorry for being a little late to respond to the chat. I was looking at the chat while I was talking, but we were talking a little bit about a serious topic, so I choose to not respond until we were done with more of the serious topics of this month.
And just to answer the question of what is this to the people on my chat, what I'm doing is I'm restreaming the stream that Jason is doing. He invited me to his stream, and I just decided to copy the stream over to my channel. That's the answer to the questions that people are asking on my channel.
Yep. And Naso said, your setup looks like Brainiac's head.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, I think that's a big compliment. I'm a comic book fan, so but no, we need to take there's a bad stigma, with people do not really care about men's mental health, and this month is like, it's so sad that it's all about the pride. It's all about this. It's like, can we start talking about men's mental health too? Because that's one thing that the society really doesn't care about. We need to make that in the mainstream. It has to be mainstream again. It has to be talked about.
I've watched some extremists say, "Oh, men should just not care about suck it up," or "Oh, I don't care. We don't need men," and that's the extremists of idiots. And I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, I'm hearing a lot of them talk about that now, and I'm like, "What is
exactly?"
Wrong with people?
And if people say that, then we could say that about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Why should we care about men? Well, why should we care about women? Why should we care about bi people? Why should we care about fill in the blank?
Amen.
No, exactly. I do agree with that.
Everybody matters.
So.
Yeah, no, exactly. And again, I don't care what you are. I do not care, but I don't want to hear about your fucking sex life and other stuff like that.
Yes.
I don't want to hear about that.
Just like I don't want my video games, I don't want on my movies. I just want to, but that's
Yeah, no, exactly, and no, it's like here where I live in Norway too. Oh my God, Norway's so goddamn woke. So it's like, it's.
My caveat would be, I don't want to hear about your sex life unless that is actually the topic of discussion. Because if it's the topic of discussion,
if it is topic, sure. But when it's not, it's like,
But for gaming, that is not what we're talking about.
No, exactly. And no, I saw that Norway have doing something big shit again in June now, and that is doing the whole drag for kids and stuff like that, and it's just like, that's not okay, and all that, and as a father, as a stepfather, but I normally just say father because I love them as my own. So as a father, I get so worried about my kids, And I also recently, when I was with my future wife, um, I was gonna help some. We were gonna help the kids with homework, right?
Mm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
got so fucking pissed about what kind of homework they give to 10-year-olds. Like what they give to 10-year-olds. One of the things was politics and learn about the politics when they're 10 years old in school.
Um, the type of politics that they should learn about when they're in school is about the political system, not about current day politics, if that makes sense. But
Exactly.
Yeah,
learn for America, have them learn about the Electoral College and why it is the way that it is
Yeah,
not
right, fair
about.
enough. Yep.
as a person who was a teacher for a couple of years, I was an assistant teacher for kindergarten. I always say this: we need to go back and teach basic living skills. People don't know how to cook. People don't know how to do
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
We need to learn
Yeah.
basic living
And and
skills.
and and another thing that I thought was so fucking funny that they're giving the children of homework is how much you are on the phone and all these questions, like private life stuff. They give this stuff to kids in Norway. Private life.
Yep.
And then they give my son, who's 10 years old, homework, and he has to do it on the phone. They give him also, give him like assignment to like talk about how much he's on the phone, how much your father is on the phone, or technology and all that kind of stuff,
That's
right?
kind of
And I'm like, what
nuts.
the fuck is these
Wait,
kind of?
what?
Yes,
What?
they do.
And what is that? Any business of theirs?
I'd say no, don't do it.
Exactly.
Just because
No,
that you're gonna
no, that's what I
no.
told
That
my
that
future wife
that's
too. Is
almost
like
like
that.
that's like asking your children to spy on you for the school.
Yep, no,
Exactly,
that's
and not
private
just that.
information. So,
And
yeah.
and the schools complain about, oh, kids these days are too much on the PCs and phones. Why the fuck are you giving the kids homework that they have to do on the phones?
Yeah.
Because that's what happened
There's
to him.
that.
He had to do like
Hmm.
he had to like talk into like a voice thing into the school program stuff with his phone, and they complain that kids are using the phone too much. And I agree, I think kids should be a lot less on phones, but the school system are complaining about it, but they give lessons that requires the phone.
Hmm. Yeah.
So this school system is so stupid, and it is the same thing too. Since it is the Pride Month, they do have certain books in school that I'm worried about. I really hope that it will be removed at some point. But they have like these LGBTQ plus books, the gay premium books, and they are really graphic books too. I actually did post it on Facebook once. I even censored the book a lot, but Facebook still took it down. But I want to spread awareness. I still want to spread awareness of what kind of book this is.
It
I want
doesn't
to
need to
spread
be in the
awareness.
educational system. So, I mean,
And those kind of books, you actually see people BJing each other, learning about
yeah,
this kind of
no.
stuff in their
Yep.
books. And I do not want to see that in the schools. Whatever LGBT gay premium person you are, don't force this upon kids and do this in your private home, please.
No, no, exactly.
I don't go
Agreed.
around. It's like yes, I have a sex life. Of course I do, like many others. I don't go around talking about my sex life to the whole goddamn world.
Yep.
Uh,
Heck, I'll even go as far as to say I lived in Montreal many years ago. I used to like to go to a drag bar. They're funny. Some of the drag queens were amazing, and they would
but
be
it is for
against me.
grown-ups.
It's an adult entertainment. It's not meant for children. Keep them away from children. They don't need to be reading to your children.
I
That's
am
the
gonna say this:
dumbest.
if you are a drag person and you make shows that are called drag for kids, and you're gonna do drag shows for kids, you are. I'm not gonna use the normal word because of YouTube,
I know what you're
but
going to say, but yeah.
you are a child diddler.
A lot of them actually are
Hmm.
against it. I've heard a lot of them talk out, and they're like, "We don't want this. We hate it." So a lot
Yeah.
of them talk out against it.
Exactly.
So it's like no, but yeah. Anyway.
And yeah, a lot. With Morgan saying that a lot of homeschool people try out the opposite of what parents want as an act of rebellion. He isn't wrong, because as honestly, kids do rebel, but
they always will.
but at the same time, the parents still are able to control what the input is.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It is like I've said, because me and my future wife, we're gonna move. We're gonna move and all that kind of stuff. Maybe end of the year or next beginning of next year. So it's gonna be me, my lady, the kids, and also my father. My father's gonna live with us because he's sick and all that. So we decided, everybody here normally who watches the Beyond and 540 knows that me and my father are good friends. And so he's gonna live with us. And I've said this straight out. If Norway school system is gonna be like that, it's like I have considered that homeschooling might be a thing that we will look into in the future for some of the kids, because we don't want. Again, I'm really conservative. My future wife is conservative. And she's also highly Christian, right? So what she sees in the school, is terrifying for her. She does not want the kids to become, get affected by the woke mind virus, as if you want to call it that. And I don't want that to happen either. And I've also said this: yes, I am not a Christian; I'm a Norse pagan. But I am open to consider, go to a really Christian school for the kids instead, to be, a Christian school that is more conservative and actually, teach the kids the proper things instead of, all this gross LGBTQ stuff that they do in schools and shit like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, exactly.
And yes,
No,
Natsu,
I am not.
Yes, Natsu, that is what the term is. He was just avoiding saying the term.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna highlight that. We are trying to avoid that term on
Yes,
on this channel.
which is why I didn't say it either.
Yes, but I would, I would love to say that words to those people.
It has to do with PDFs.
Yes,
and talk about the file format.
That's why I call them child diddlers. It's the nicest word I can use, because I want to use another word.
I'm just using computer technology, the PDF file format. It's what we use to view files.
Yeah, and Morgoth said, "I'm a Jewish Christian, so Norse pagan Christian is isn't so out left the field. I'm just Norse pagan. I do not believe in Jesus Christ and the God and stuff like that, but I do highly respect my fellow friends who are Christians. That's something.
And I'm Catholic, so
yeah." No, I have always said this, I cherish my friends and I support my friends, mostly what you believe in. There are certain stuff that I am strictly against, and that's more into the politic world. When it comes to the Islamic ways of life, that is another way I'm a little bit more against, but I'm not going to get fully into that because that's a long discussion. And
I'm not going to get into that right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And that I do know, and also because I am from one of the lands of the Vikings. I am from Norway. That's also, neighbors to Sweden, Denmark. So I do know that the Vikings back at that time too also became Christians, but in that time it was a little bit different of how they became Christians, and I don't like the way it happened. But that is just history, and it was another time. We are not living in that time anymore. But no, I respect the hell out of my Christian friends. It's like one of our good friends, Comic Relief Crusader. He's a Christian man, and And of course, I have a lot of other friends who are Christians. Sparta Chris, a good friend of mine, he's worked on this channel before. He's been a guest here before. He's such an amazing, fun guy. He's also a Christian guy, and we have had our debates and talked and argued about certain stuff. But the thing is that I respect the hell out of him. I respect the hell out of him because of the way he talks about it, the way he does this. That's with all of my friends. If they can explain it in a good, respectful way, then you earn my respect, because then we can debate, we can talk, but I respect the hell out of him.
Oh yeah, I've known him for 30 some years. He's one of my closer friends, and we've argued, we've had battles. But but I mean, I was raised Catholic, but I'm more. I don't really know anymore. I mean, I have my beliefs in a little bit of paganism, a little bit of this and that, but I also believe in just nothing. So I bounce around. I'm just learning. Sometimes you just grasp what feels proper.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But most of my family is Catholic and Christian, and I love Mike. I would die for that guy. He's and he's passionate on his beliefs, and
no, exactly.
The world needs more people that actually have faith.
Yeah,
faith. If it guides you and protects you, good on that. So.
Honestly, I was raised Catholic. I was away from the faith for quite a while, and I'm back to it right now.
Awesome.
So, yeah, and when I went to church, people were like, "Oh, okay, what can we tell you that they need to know?" It's like, no, guys, I know everything I need to know. It's just I haven't been here for a long time.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I've been Catholic because they're so used to somebody coming from a Protestant faith or whatever, and I'm like, no, I know what this is. I just don't remember all the call response.
Yeah, no, exactly, and it's just the most important thing is just respect and respect each other, and don't hate each other for most of your beliefs. Well,
oh yeah,
who am I to say it? I will say it like this. It's again. There's just one belief, one of the big beliefs out there I will not support. I'm open about it. And I will always say this: fuck Palestine, fuck Hamas, fuck that bullshit. That I'm open with. Always gonna be. And the way of the Islamic way, I do not agree with that. I actually read the Quran to see stuff what it says. It's disgusting. A lot of stuff is disgusting in it.
What I would say is that there's a lot of people who follow the Muslim faith who are very good people, but I'm not convinced that they have read all of the stuff to see some of the really concerning things in their own religion, in the same way that some Christians and Catholics haven't fully read the Bible.
Yeah,
and might not know everything that's in their religion. And so there are a lot of good Muslim people, but I'm not sure about the people who have actually studied their own religion.
Yeah,
with Islam, if that makes any sense.
Yes, and I read that when I read the Quran, there is one shora or shara, or how you call it, a verse in there, like a text there is shora, and that talks about how to kill the non-believers.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about.
Yes, and I am open and strict about it. I'm not gonna hide it. I'm always been open about this. And one of the reasons I'm also really open about it, because many years ago, unfortunately, a good friend of mine, the girlfriend of another good friend of mine, unfortunately got unalived by a person like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I am gonna be open and talk about it.
Now, my feeling about the Palestine-Israel stuff that I always want to say is, when people say, "But look at what Israel's doing here," blah blah blah. Do you guys realize that Palestine / Hamas has been sending rockets at Israel for like 20 years before all of this kicked off? After October 7th, I mean, just because Israel was good enough to stop them doesn't mean that they're absolved of it. It's like saying that the bully who keeps on trying to hit somebody but just isn't good enough to hurt them is okay, just because they weren't good enough to hurt the person they were trying to hurt. So it's like, no, it's not just October 7th that makes them culpable for all their shit.
Exactly, and
it's things way before then too.
And it's here, here in Norway also. They are so pro-Palestine and pro-Hamas. I will say it like that. When they, they acknowledge, Palestine as a state and all that other stuff. A lot of stuff that they're doing. And one thing that did annoy me is that they do set up Palestinian flags in Norway. So I see them a lot of Yeah. Even in kindergartens. One of the kindergartens I walk past, they have put up the Palestinian flag. And now they're also going to set up the pride flag. So,
and let's be honest, the irony of that, if anybody had a pride flag in those countries, they would not no. You'd be
yeah, I'm going to say this.
They would be taking some jumps, let's just say.
Yeah, so I'm going to say this to all the gays for Hamas, gays for Palestine and all that kind of stuff.
They're idiots.
Yeah, if you go there, I don't think you would be, alive.
No.
No.
I'm just gonna say that you have a short time when you come there. It's not gonna be
Christians for lions. Christians for lions in the time of Rome.
And I do also want to say this. Hail to Lester, man. Long time no see. A good friend of mine. A good guy. I love his content. Man, I miss being on streams with you, man. Hope you get time to, join a stream again one day. And also, with Corey and all that. Man, been missing you, brother. So he said, plenty to celebrate this Pride Month. Plenty more than meets the eye. It shouldn't just be limited to you know what.
So if we have Pride Month, where is Wrath Month, Gluttony Month, and all the other 7 deadly sins? I mean, we're celebrating one of the deadly sins. Where's the other 6?
And hail to Soul Assassin. Good to fucking see you, brother. Moral of the story: choose the Vikings. They know how to party and sail. Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a sober Viking now, as you can call it, even though Viking is, more of a job, not, I'm not a Viking like that. But in all funniness, I'm a sober Viking, but I still know how to party. I don't need alcohol to party. And I do know how to sail. I grew up sailing, so, I love sailing. Love being at the sea.
And for Morgoth saying that the Jews have the Talmud, just kind of their bad text. And he and I have had discussions about that, because there was some stuff that was really concerning me, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to judge you for this, but explain this to me before I say this is a problem. You know what I mean? And he was like, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's like, okay, you admit it's not good, so we're okay.
And all respect. Hell yeah, Soul Assassin. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good. Always good to see you. He's a really cool guy. I see him, in all the other streams that I watch and stuff like that. He's always there. He's a great goddamn person. Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
So what I also want to do, since he is in the chat, normally I don't do this, but I have always small talked with Soul Assassin in so many chats. What I'm gonna do, Soul Assassin, before we get into articles for tonight, because we've been rambling of so much else tonight, but that's because I had to do some small changes. Small changes before the stream.
By the way, I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay, because, like I said earlier, I was getting ready to do my own stream when I got the link from you. So I may end up leaving to start my own stream on Mass Effect, but I will stick around for a while.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh no, I'm not leaving right now. I'll just say that I may leave.
Oh yeah, there he left. Oh my God, he's a traitor. No, just joking. We are. But also said, tell Soul Assassin I say hi. Yeah, because you're writing in 2 different channels. But no.
Yeah.
It is. It is
that can be confusing.
Yeah, but it is a crazy month. But we got we talked a lot about stuff and politics and stuff like that, and we normally don't go so deep into it, but small changes I had to do. Not all the articles I was planning is gonna be here today, but but it is our comeback show after a while,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yep.
So a lot to catch up on, having a little fun. But other than that, let's get into some news for tonight. So I don't know what we're gonna start with. Should America buy Norway? I would say no. I want Norway to stay Norway. I want Norway to be Norway. I want to go out of the EU, EØS agreement that we're in, because we're part of the EU but not part of the EU, but we are part of the EØS deal.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons it gets a lot higher costs and a lot of other shit here in Norway, and we kind of want to get out of that shit. But
I remember finding out just how much ramen cost you at one point. I was like, wait, how much?
yes, it's way expensive. So this year I am gonna vote. Unfortunately, there's gonna be a little chance they will win, because Norway is the least conservative country you can be in right now, unfortunately. But I'm happy to see that the conservative movement has been growing a lot, but it's not enough. So I always say to all the Norwegians out there, try to rethink the way Norway is now, and the road we are going, because we are the government, the woke mind virus, whatever you want to call it, is destroying our country, and we see it every day with the all LGBTQ, the Hamas problem, Palestine problem, and all this kind of stuff. We see it all the time.
I'll reiterate that here in Canada, we're getting just as bad here in Canada too. So we just lost.
All of you guys have been going bad. It's almost like everyone else is trying to is going. Here's where you guys could be if you had made the mistake of electing somebody else.
Yeah. And I have positions, but yeah, it's and I'm going to reiterate the same statement. No offense, I have American friends everywhere. I love to visit the country, but I'm still a proud Canadian. I just don't like in our current direction. I'm a proud. I love my country and what we stand for.
No,
but not except for what we stand for government wise right now, I hate it. So
hey, I actually had a conversation with somebody else about that when it had to do with religion, but I was like, hey, I'm proud to be an American. Even when Biden was a president, we were still a republic.
Well, exactly.
Even though I was still proud to be an American, even during that. I just didn't like being under Biden.
Yeah, no, I'm same here. I hate our government, but I love my country.
I completely understand that. Is what I'm trying to say.
And the Emperor's storehouse said, I feel like Finland is the least woke Scandinavian country. I do not know, but I need to actually look into that, because one of my old friends is from Finland. So I probably should ask him how the politics are going down there. I should. But it's a fun country. I need to get to Finland at some point. And the Finland, the people in Finland, they can drink. They can drink. Goddamn. They're heavy on the alcohol, and weird people, but fun people.
Weird people.
At least they're not Danish. But we are gonna get into some topics for tonight.
What do we have on the article list today?
And
so what are we discussing?
No, so what we're gonna talk about now, it is actually funny, because we memed about this for so many years, and then Marvel decides to actually do the meme. Unfortunately, Tilted is not here tonight, because I want him to be here, but
I know exactly what we're going for.
Exactly. So Marvel Comics introduces T'Challa's white son. Yes,
Ryan
you heard it right.
Gosling.
Exactly. That's what I'm so disappointed that they didn't make him Ryan Gosling.
Hey, no, that's just the comic. That means that once it hits TV, it could be Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
It could be.
Exactly. So, Ketema, or how you Ketema, or how you say his name, as future Black Panther and King of Wakanda. You know, a lot of woke people are gonna get so upset with this, because if he does, for Wakanda and all that other stuff, they're gonna be like, yeah, it's not okay. It's not okay, because the white guy.
Because it's okay when it's washed their direction, but not when it's the other direction.
Yeah, no, exactly. So this was really focused. This was not on my bingo card this year. Actually, the meme is gonna happen. The meme, really?
Oh, they already got the pictures next to the Ryan Gosling wearing the outfit already. So I've seen that one with this article. So it's like, yep, it's already started.
Yeah.
White Panther, exactly, Empress. White Panther, Wakanda forever.
Yep. And
take Ku Klux Klan forever. That's what it's gonna be now.
And the hamster.
And so you ask, is Jason Fox fan of JRPGs? Yes, I am.
That's also an inside joke. He considers everything that I play to be a JRPG.
I've seen. We have talked in your chat sometimes.
Okay, right. You've seen that.
Yeah, and the Emperor said, "Make Wakanda great again."
MWJ, Mugga.
Yeah. Mugga. But let's get into this. What more do they have to say about it?
Actually, something quickly funny about Wakanda. Apparently, Wakanda is actually a borough or something like that in Chicago. It's not spelled the same way, but it's pronounced approximately the same way.
Oh, really?
I was watching Timcast last night, and Tim is from Chicago, and he was like, "Yeah, there's actually an area in Chicago called Wakanda. Well, called Wakanda."
Yeah, no, exactly.
I just thought that was funny.
And before getting more into this, I do want to say Marvel do have some great comics, new comics out there. I don't hate everything that they're doing. There are some good writers out there too. So I just want a commercial for, the comic series universe that I am into right now is 6160. Actually, a pretty good Ultimate Universe. I've been wanting some good Marvel stuff for a long time, and that universe not disappointed me yet. Not disappointed. And they also brought back Dakin, my favorite character, who's the son of Wolverine. They did bring him back in the day, but they fucked him up, and they made him so gay and so K-pop star and whatever. And yeah, all the stories he was in was fucking terrible. Especially the one comic they did when he stabs the boyfriend of Iceman, and then he also kisses the boyfriend of Iceman when he stabs him, and then
what?
And then he fights Iceman, and then they kiss, and at the same time, Dakin has the power of Apocalypse.
Okay,
yeah.
I have to ask: is this the same continuity as when was it Kitty Pryde or somebody did the thing about Iceman, you're gay, and did that hand waving gesture, and then suddenly goes gay?
It is because they mashed two universes together in the 616 stuff. Yeah, it's
okay. Because I haven't read the comic, but I've seen that page over and over and over and over.
Yeah, I have. But they did bring back Dakin now, and they basically just ignored the old continuity with those bad comics, and they connected it with the old comics really well. The comics I love with Dakin, the Dark Wolverine, the son of Wolverine, and they connected it so well because he does die in the comics in the hands of his father. And the way they resurrected him in this new comic, and how it has, more of the Ghost Rider vibe with the powers he has like a demon thing inside of him that made him resurrected and stuff like that. it all made sense. It was actually a pretty damn good comic series so far. I'm like, this is what I wanted for so long. At least you're actually doing some proper storytelling again with the character.
Good.
Yeah, and before I get more into this, Emperor said, my favorite X-Man is Storm. But I'm racist, apparently, right? I love Blade, and I'm apparently racist too. Hey, my future wife, she's Asian, and I'm apparently racist also.
My favorite.
There's so many things there's so many things that just make us all racist, aren't there?
Yeah, I'm say, Al Simmons is my favorite comic book character. Has been for years. Al Simmons. Oh wait, yeah, no.
Yeah, right. But in a move that is sure that caused the exact explosion of the discourse it was intended to, Marvel Comics has kicked off their latest visit to their Marvel Knights imprint with the revelation that some point in the near future of 616. Also remember that the movies, the main MCU timeline is also 616 now. They confirmed that in the movies, unfortunately. But T'Challa will find himself challenged for both Wakandan throne and the Black Panther by its hair apparent. His blonde-haired, white-skinned son. You heard that right? He's white. Probably racist too. That's why he wants to fight his father, maybe, maybe hates his father.
Now I want to know if he's blue-eyed as well. Blonde hair, blue eye?
Yeah, and maybe he's mad at his father, T'Challa, because maybe T'Challa went out for milk and never came back.
Yeah. He went out for whatever the herb is that makes them Black Panthers.
Yeah, right. So Ketema or Ma, or how you say his fucking name, unbelievable as it seemed, this twist to Wakanda's canon was confirmed in his debut issue of Christopher Priest and Joe Quesada, New Marvel Knights.
I seriously thought that people were joking when I saw this.
Yeah, same here. I thought that too. To the world to come miniseries. The latest title in Marvel Knights imprint, as originally created by Quesada to denote those books that were a bit too edgy for the publisher's general audience. The world to come flings readers into the near future of the Marvel Universe to find a Wakanda embroiled in political unrest. A lot of politics. That's good. We want more politics and stuff. He's probably, they're probably gonna say he's a hillbilly, incel, something. So, as a new resistant group known as Aquamarines wage an ongoing coup attempt against the country's traditional ruling regime. So, a lot more politics.
Yeah.
We love politics and everything.
Honestly, I'll joke aside, I actually do like politics and a lot of things, as long as they're in-universe politics.
But that's the problem with a lot of these comics. There are real-world politics.
I know. I'm just saying. I actually like in-universe politics a lot. That's why I like Phantom Menace.
Yeah. As long as it's in-world politics that works and well-made, I am all good. But if it's like super, what we have gotten through the years now with real-world politics, fuck off.
Yeah, I know. And that's why I feel the need to make the distinction.
Because let's be honest, this is escapism for us. You can't be escaping if you're having to deal with what you need to escape. It's like, no.
Yep.
They call him white trash. And I do want to say hail. I do want to say hail to Christian Delorme, Vinyl Revival.
Christian.
Hail to you, brother. It's good to see you. If you haven't, please go and subscribe to his channel on Rumble. fantastic channel. So Christian, if you want to, you can share the Rumble link on here. You are a moderator for our channel. So you can post it if you want to, but he has great shows on Rumble. We talk about, the beginning of artists, bands, their story. We listen to their music. A lot of fun we're doing over on that show. And
Nice.
I'm also his personal editor when it comes to certain things. So I'm honored that he likes my work and stuff like that. So good friend, good guy, and great channel.
Mm-hmm.
And Hunty, hail to Hunty. We did not need to mention Henry Cavill. But Hunty said, I laughed so hard that I made my stomach cramp when I saw that they did the meme. And with that too, I do want to say hail to Spotter Chris.
Hi, folks.
Hello, brother. How you doing?
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Questionable. I got a little bit of a headache and my stomach's a little churning.
No,
Well,
you
that
fix
happened. Yeah, that happens. When we get a white trash, no Ryan Gosling, White Panther.
Yeah. Like I said, first I thought it was a troll. Then I thought it was a what if. Then it was wait, it's actually fully real.
Exactly.
It's a bit shocking that they actually went through with that.
Yeah.
Joke for how long now, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah, for so many years we have done that joke, and now it happens. But they should have made him look like Ryan Gosling,
Oh, we all know it's based off of Ryan Tunnel.
RK Outpost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God. But let's see what more they have to say about it.
I'm betting that T'Challa went down to South Africa, got jiggy with a white Afrikaner, and left him.
Yeah, and so here we have from the comic, Kitama, you are yet mere boy, a boy who honors his father. So they fight, they fight here. He dishonor his father, who is, also a black man. So it's racial, a racial fight, white against black, Oof.
Yep.
Oof,
And as far as the mother, from what I read, it was a fling that he had a while ago, and the mother is supposedly dead, but who knows if that's actually the case?
Yeah,
that's what I read.
Won't know
and
until more information comes out.
yeah, and of course, White Panther. I'm gonna call him White Panther. Says an unworthy father, a liar. Well, that kind of proves my point. He might, gone out for the milk thing, and never came back. Because he was like, shit, I got a white woman pregnant. Shit, I don't want to risk a white boy.
Yep.
He had a bit too much. Of the African brew one night.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He left a IOU on the side table and booked it.
Yep, and here you see, he says that he is now the king of Wakanda. So, maybe he's gonna whitewash Wakanda.
Just as it should be.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna whitewash it. It's gonna be
turn it into South America with apartheid.
South America or
exactly.
No, South America, I mean South Africa. Sorry.
South Africa or Rhodesia.
Mm-hmm.
No, so here we have him. Here, better picture. So with the T'Challa, yeah, with T'Challa unable to stand, Kitama turns to the elders of Wakanda and formally declares himself the country's new top cat.
Oh God! Hunty asked the same thing that I asked about whether or not the White Panther has blue eyes. He asked the same question I asked.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he has blue eyes. And proclaiming, I am king now, Wakanda is mine. The new, I'm not going to say Black Panther, he's White Panther. White Panther proceeds to remove his mask and reveal himself to the new subjects. And much to their surprise, rather than a black-skinned skinned African, T'Challa's son sports far paler skin and blonder hair than his fellow countrymen.
Gee, surprise!
No, so it is funny that they did the meme. I know a lot of woke people out there is gonna rage about this. I just think this is hilarious that they did this.
Which is what Emperor Storehouse was saying. Yeah,
I'm just reading on this. The character just if I can interject quickly, the character introduced and fully revealed in the last page of the first issue, looking villainous as he steps into the role of Black Panther with royal entitlement. He claims to be T'Challa's son. Is yet appearance, white skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. So yes, I guess he has blue eyes.
Okay,
he has blue
eyes. Evil white Aryans. Oh, and by the way, according to something that I just kind of came across on here, is that his mother is Monica Lynn.
Okay.
And from the Marvel Wiki, Monica Lynn from Earth 616 is an American actress and a song actress and activist who was one of Black Panther's early love interests.
Looks like they also a little bit here. At the current outside of his existence, physical appearance, the hatred for his father, no further details have been presented. We don't know so much about the character yet. Notably, the issue reveals that some points following his divorce from the mainstay Storm, T'Challa reunited with his fiancée Monica Lynn, and the two eventually became pregnant. Given that Kitema's complexion, he's white, it seems unlikely that Monica, a black woman, is his actual mother.
Yeah, thing. I mean, you don't typically get two black people with a white son.
No, if that's the case, that if she was the mother, then you know that she was not happy with T'Challa's dick size, so she cheated, and it was the white guy.
Yeah.
Just confirms. There's a theory, but it kind of confirms it. And Hunty said, I saw someone call this guy a product of the Nazi race belief, and my brain lost over half of my brain cells.
Well, that's why we're asking about the blue about the blue eye thing.
Yeah, he's albino. Yeah, so albino, he looks like a black man who's albino, right? Yeah.
Blonde hair.
But a black, but that is not even. Just be factual here. That is not even what a black when an albino black man would look like.
Exactly.
I have a friend who is a albino Indian, an albino American Indian, and I wouldn't have realized that she was albino. But it's also the reason why why she's been attacked for being a white passing in Indian.
Yep.
So you can be you can be albino without actually looking like what we would imagine an albino would look like.
Yeah, Victor Verando. He's an amazing black comedian in Hollywood, but he's albino, so he's quite kind of seen him.
But no, we all know, this is if they're ever gonna do a live action of this, we all know it's gonna be Ryan Gosling.
It has to be.
Oh yeah,
it has to be.
Somebody called the witch doctor.
But all they have, is the current speculation suggests that the king of Wakanda may by T'Challa's son. By other yet to be introduced woman. So it might, maybe he cheated. Who knows who cheated in this relationship? Someone was not happy.
Yeah.
Or an orphan he adopted and brought into his legacy, like Batman and his various Robins. So that can also be a thing, of course. But
orphan was my first guess, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. It's not much more to say other than, hey, I am happy they fucking did this because this is actually hilarious after so many years.
It's funny. It really is.
So it is gonna be interesting to see how they actually write the character. If he's gonna, if they're gonna use some real world politics on him or whatever the fuck they're gonna do with him. But I still think it's funny. It is just funny. And Emperor said, someone called the witch doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at. Sorry. Yep.
And Frostfang, hail to you, said, this feels like a bad special of Jerry Springer saying, T'Challa, you are the father.
Who's the daddy?
Who is the daddy? Yes.
Now, I'm curious, how much say does Disney have in Marvel's comic book ventures compared to their film ventures? Because I just don't see the Disney side allowing this. I'm surprised because you know how they would be. That's what has me curious and scratching my head on this one.
Don't forget that there is the group that made Inside Out 2 happen, where they did actually have people on the inside going, no, do not go towards the LGBT stuff.
Yeah.
And so there is a part of Disney that actually does understand that maybe they shouldn't lean so hard into that stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. And
you just don't. You never know if you're going to hit that part or not.
Yeah, no, exactly. And also, we have talked about Predator and other stuff like that with the movie coming out and the two movies. And also, since we know a guy who his brother, because it's public now, that his brother is also part of these movies and stuff like that. And what he has said and stuff like that is that Disney doesn't have so much, control over everything of their products. They don't involve themselves in everything that is getting created. So there are some people in the company that are still good, that are still wants to do, as I said earlier, the new universe 6160. Really well written, really well stories that I enjoy, and a new Dakin story. So there are people out there who actually does some good work in there, but it's not often you get to see that. With this story, I have no clue if this is going to be a great story at all. It's like I'm probably not going to read it. I just want to know who the mother is.
Yep.
Or if he's adopted, But as far as no, continue.
Oh, I was going to say that, and with Emperor Storehouse said his theory that White Panther will end up becoming a bad guy. I had that thought as well, because
I've heard people who are read more of these kind of new stuff and like who are following these comics and stuff like that he is basically, as far as they knows, that he is described to be a villain and become a villain in the story. So
Shocking.
we just have
okay.
But he's white. That's why it's going to be a villain. If he was black,
right? That's what we were thinking. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have oh god, what's his phrase? Nick Cannon was his name? Was it?
Oh yeah, that bad rapper guy. Yeah.
He I remember a number of years ago he came out and said, "Oh yeah, the black skin means good because it comes from the sun, and the sun is where we get our power from, and so white people they don't have darker skin, so they don't have that power."
Say again what he said.
He basically just said that black skin means that they have power because they get power from the sun because of their darker skin or something like that.
So he is saying that Superman should not be as strong because of the sun then.
Possibly.
That's
yeah.
Yep. As long as it's a white Superman. Now, what I would say is that this makes that's why I was saying that
President Obama ripoff.
Yep. However, what I would say is that if in this case, it's the black should get less power because the melanin is going to actually keep the sun from getting into the skin, because that's what the melanin does. So the white person should get more from should get more from the sun because there's nothing blocking it.
Well, I might want to say is who conquered the world here?
I
Yeah,
didn't
no,
say
exactly.
No, but I mean we're all thinking it.
Yeah, right. Spotter Chris, he just said what we were what we were thinking.
Yeah.
And NASA said Jason Fox kind of sounds like Stig. Yeah, that's because both of us are Norwegian.
Yep, they're from the same area.
And Jace is actually from Denmark.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Fuck Denmark.
but I will vouch that they are not the same person. And I've actually talked to both of you.
Yeah.
That or Jason Stig have a very clever split personality.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
right.
Like me and Prismatics.
Yes, exactly. It's a split personality. Oh my god. But any final thoughts on White Panther and his white power storyline? What you guys think?
Nah.
White privilege activate.
I'm not gonna read
personally,
it. Like,
personally, I don't care for this. I never wanted it. I just want to be entertained.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Any means possible.
I think it's funny, but
oh yeah, it's very funny. It's very funny.
But that's all that it is. It's funny, but
I never wanted this because I want Black Panther to be Black Panther. I want him to be T'Challa and the King of Wakanda and everything like that. I don't care for that. But hey, at least now because there's a white Black Panther, I can see myself in the character.
And if they make him a villain at the same time or misunderstood, or whatever the fuck they're gonna do,
I feel represented. Oh god.
Oh god. No, I totally agree with Chris here. I totally agree with here is that I just I like Black Panther, but I just want Black Panther to go back to be Black Panther. I don't mind side characters who's on his side or if he has sons or daughters, but I just want a good story that we can escape and a good and can just have fun with. We just like with Blade, we a lot of on this panel we love Blade. Blade used to be a fantastic fucking comic book character and had some great movies. And yeah, the new Blade movie not gonna happen. Not gonna happen anytime soon.
Well, let's be honest. If you look at the original Blade films, really started the great comic book revolution.
I was just to say that Blade was the first Marvel movie that started all these comic movies. But
apparently we're still racist though.
In the more recent age, because I mean you do still have
of course older
Batman
Captain America movies and Batman and a lot of this other stuff.
Now for my thoughts on the entire thing, as at least Natso and Morgoth know, I am not a comic person, so I am just on the sideline here, just chuckling and laughing my ass off. But in terms of just overall, am I happy that it happened? Not necessarily, because it's my issue with please stop race swapping is simply please stop race swapping. I don't want them to race swap to white.
Exactly.
It's not that I don't think that they're going to white off enough. I just want them to stop doing it. Period.
I want to go swapping because it's an original character, but
no, I know, but you know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
you're doing this whole stupid mantle thing. It's a mantle that needs to be passed around like like a $2 hooker on Saturday night.
I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back to, of course, Chris here with storytelling and stuff. And since I mentioned Blade and the story there, it's like the same thing that they did with Blade. That suddenly has a daughter and all that kind of stuff. And I don't really know all her goddamn story, but She is annoying, looks like an activist, and she walks around with two lightsabers, and they talked about her being about to move, and she became like more spotlight than Blade himself. Oh, now he has a daughter, and now she's gonna have the spotlight, but she's not interesting, and she doesn't have really the powers of Blade, and she's no Blade. But they try to kind of replace him with that character, and it never succeeded. Nobody really wanted that, but so I just want again to just make Black Panther to be Black Panther, and do a goddamn great story, and of course let Blade be Blade.
Yes, exactly.
We are fine if they have offsprings. Like, we are fine if they have offsprings, but then you have to do actually a good story. You have to do a good story.
Storytelling is growing the characters, growing their personalities, growing their goals. And
you're asking for way too much there.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. But before, sorry, Tom. Before Emperor is gonna go, so he said, "I have to go. Thank you for the laughs. Remember, Wakanda for everyone."
Wakanda forever.
I do have to say is I do
thanks for being here.
I do like what the Common Nerd said today earlier on his show. He says maybe they should just do a race swap for every comic book character. Have Wakanda and China, Wukanda.
Oh God, yeah, because he was streaming. Yeah, right. That's true. Oh God, yeah. That would actually be funny. That would be funny.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Yes.
But
he's probably gonna spread the virus too.
I want to say one last piece on this one. My opinion on it. First off, a lot of people don't read comics now. I still do with Spawn, but it's too expensive nowadays. First off, but two, let's talk about the MCU. Black Panther's gone. Chad, who did Black Panther amazingly, people can say, well, he did a great job, but he's passed on, and it's sad. But nobody can fill his shoes. I think you got to move on from that character, and you need to introduce somebody else if you're going to stick with the same MCU. Because let's be honest, I'm getting tired.
But they did replace Black Panther with his sister.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
that never happened. No,
I have not seen that movie yet. To be honest with you.
Don't get me wrong. She's a good side character. I liked her as a character.
Yeah, but you remember she's gonna also be in the new Avengers movie. She's Black Panther now.
The whole thing with Chadwick Boseman's death is that even his family said, continue the character, recast him, because that's
they said so. They got the blessing of the family. They got the blessing of the family.
Yes, and that's actually what he said before he died.
But what did Disney do? What did Disney Marvel do?
Exactly.
The first trailer, they're having a celebration of his funeral.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's kind of shame too, because
could have done it, but
and it is a shame too, because the actor, he wanted that because he's talked about before, and the family gave the blessing to do that. They wanted the character to continue, and it's just like, Disney, come on Marvel, Disney. But of course you had to.
Now there's talk, this is just rumors, what's his name, I can't think of his name, but he played Killmonger. He's actually a great actor too. They might bring him and give him the mantle of Black Panther. I wouldn't hate that.
That was Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, great actor. It's like, wow, he could do that too, I think. But
the movies are multiverse, so he can always come back.
Yeah.
I mean, how they're putting Robert Downey Jr. into the role of Doom.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought that Killmonger, who I believe he's a new character that they introduced for the Black Panther movie. His character was probably one of the few things I actually liked about the Black Panther movie, because the Black Panther movie, in my opinion, was overhyped. It's bland.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a Lion King ripoff.
It's not a good movie. Of course, I love the performance of Shad. Of course, he did fantastic, and he put his whole heart into the character. It was just a shame that the movie was not that well written, but I still watch it from time to time because of him, because he's the one and some of the other actors, because they shine in the movie. But yeah, the you could have continued his story. That's what they could have done, but Killmonger is from the comics. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
my comic knowledge is, to be honest, comic knowledge is very limited. So
if you guys ask him about Star Wars, then he will answer you better.
yes, I do.
But yeah,
your comic knowledge is probably better than mine, though. To be fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
and
trust me, it is.
And I do want to ask, since Spartacus is here, who we have said for many years, he is a defender of the multiverse. What are you gonna do when the new Avengers movie are coming out with all the multiverse stuff? Are you gonna try to do something?
Just make sure it stays in this world.
You think that's gonna be? Think it's gonna happen? Do you have any prediction of what's gonna happen?
Oh, definitely, it'll be. I do have to have the keys to the multiverse, so.
Hey, I'm going to say this about this. If I'm not going to give spoilers, but the end of Thunderbolts gives another movie away. It's like you just gave the ending of that other film away. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. I saw it too. Thunderbolts wasn't.
It's not a horrible movie.
I loved it. I'm sorry, I loved it. I thought it was really fun. But
I've heard good things about it.
It wasn't bad. I did find enjoyment to some parts.
Yeah, same
but
here.
It's still Disney Marvel trash. It's just decent Disney Marvel trash.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. And talking about that, good segue with the Thunderbolts and, of course, the Fantastic Four movie.
Don't you mean the new Avengers Thunderbolts?
Oh, yeah.
we planned this out. Wink, wink.
Yeah, but talking about that, we have Kevin Feige claims that Fantastic Four film will launch Marvel into a new era.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's gonna
be no idea.
Groundbreaking of that movie? It's gonna be all about Sue.
Shall we say I doubt it? I doubt it.
And of course, we all know why the world is gonna go down to hell and it's gonna be destroyed. It's because when you see, Mr. Fantastic, aka played by Pedro Pascal, when he's on that Pride event playing with that glow stick and like pretending to
Pedro
suck it.
Pascal is it is just overhyped.
That's
Ash. Get rid of
that. That's what we say. Yes, get rid of that mustache. Every single thing that he plays in, he has that goddamn child stash all the time.
I actually asked my wife about whether or not she thought that he looked good, and her response was that she didn't understand any of the hype.
It's Hollywood artificial in push.
Yeah, totally, 100%. Yeah,
but let's all be honest. Mr. Fabulous is actually banging the Human Torch, and the Thing is actually really the father.
Yeah, right. But the reason the world goes under, I will show everybody here.
Sue needed something that could stay rock hard.
Yes. So the reason the world goes under in the Fantastic Four is because Mr. Fantastic has his gay moment, instead of saving the world.
Let's also not forget, you had that joke in The Mandalorian where they had revealed Grogu to the group of bounty hunters, and what was one of the first things they said? Oh, I didn't know you were interested in that stuff.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. They should have given this role to John Krasinski, who actually played it in the Multiverse of Madness. He did a great Reed Richards. But
and I actually really liked Multiverse of Madness, by the way. There are a lot of people who really disagree with me on that, but I really liked Multiverse of Madness.
And he
we don't support that message. We do not support that message. We are not affiliated with that guy. So yeah.
I actually have a video on my channel about that.
Actually, I'll back that, Kev. I didn't hate that movie either. So
let me just say that the other 99.9% of net cats out in the multiverse do not agree with him.
Oh, I know.
I like it too. So there, I'm going to back him up on that. I actually didn't hate it either. So
why? Thank you. I normally get no support when I make that comment. So thank you very much for that.
Sparta Chris, can you bring in the other versions of them from the multiverse instead, so we can get the goddamn echo chamber?
Sadly, they're all occupied.
I've gotten into so many arguments on that particular opinion.
But no, seriously, John Krasinski, I think he did a good Reed Richards there in that film, and that he should have
just
been
poorly executed by the writing.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I think he could have did great.
To be clear, to be clear, there were problems in the story. I just thought it was fun.
No, 100%. Like, why couldn't? I'll just say this: why couldn't Pascal grow a beard to go with the mustache?
I know what Netcat's favorite storyline was. It's because it's Pride Month. Everybody knows it's men's mental health, but since it's Pride Month, he liked the two lesbian mothers.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, too, their kid is also a lesbo, so that's his favorite story. It's the LGBTQ stuff in it.
Of course.
Let's not forget about how their version of the Illuminati, how all of them died off.
Oh God, that pissed me off. With especially Professor X. God damn that.
Telepath.
And there were a lot of people
dies from his neck being snapped in.
Now that is actually what my video is about. There were people who talked about the order of them being killed, was woke in some way, and my response to it was no. Oh, she killed them with the most dangerous first.
What you mean?
So she
Black Adam.
So she took out Reed Richards and the one that could kill just by opening his mouth first. Yeah, she took out the most dangerous ones first. Yeah. Because there were a lot of people who were bitching that the way that she did it made it look like the men were the weak ones, and I was like, no, she took out the threats first. She took out the biggest threats first.
It still sucked.
That's fine, but I'm just saying. The order that was taken out was actually respected the power levels, which is what I saw people bitching about a lot.
Yeah, but other than that, so let's see what more they had to say. Speaking to the Empire about the upcoming film, Feige first noted how important the Fantastic Four are to Marvel. Yes, that's what started Marvel. That is, the first family in Marvel. That's
Yeah.
Good that you know that, Kevin Feige. Kudos.
And Frost saying, yes, I consider Mr. Fantastic more dangerous than pretty much any of them because of his brain, his intellect, and being able to come up with anything.
I can see your
what makes
point.
them more dangerous than almost anything.
But the way they killed him off was stupid.
He's the smartest man in Marvel.
No, that's Dinosaur Girl, according to Marvel Comics.
She doesn't exist.
But I think that there are no 4 characters that are more important for the history of Marvel. You got a point, so kudos for you for actually knowing something at least, instead of being a dumbass. Next, he shared that he hopes to use these important characters to launch Marvel into a new era of a lot of shit, mostly. Other than Thunderbolts was decent. When Disney bought Fox, it was really an unexpected dream to come true. It came at the perfect time to help us launch it into a new era. They are Marvel's first family, yes, they are, and I really wanted to do them justice. That's another discussion, Kevin Feige. Doing justice.
Well, Kevin Feige is saying he's going to do justice to anything means that he's not.
Yes,
I think we should have learned this by now.
Yes, and also when the actors came out, talked about some of the story, talked about also how their characters are, and Tom, you love this doormat situation that the actress of Sue is talking about, that she would be a doormat apparently, if they played her the way they.
Was never a doormat in the original family. She was a great character. Everybody had their role, but no, she was a doormat. Shut up! You don't even read the. Oh, God.
Did you ever go over the Empire article where they had interviewed the actress who plays Sue Storm?
Yeah, that's what we mentioned. Yes, that's what we mentioned.
She totally made it. She has no clue.
I know, but I'm getting to the part where they talk about what she portrayed the character to be, or the director portrayed the character to be.
The Temu version of Phoenix, as we like to call the character.
Huh.
I quote from the director: "The inspiring, idealistic leader of what the Fantastic Four represents, as she is some of the later comic runs. She's essentially the Secretary General of the United Nations."
Yeah.
Wait, are they saying that Sue is the leader of the Fantastic Four? I thought that was Reed Richards.
Yeah, but no. Sue in this movie is everything. She is the main
center, the main character, and
Okay, I've heard something about that, and may I go bang my head against the wall? I mean, I haven't really read. I haven't read a lot of the comics, but I've read enough of the comics.
And you guys should have heard Tom, Technosapia Blade here, aka Tom. You should have heard him when we talked about the interviews with the actor who plays Human Torch, Johnny Storm, and of course Sue. You know, when we went through their interviews, you should have heard his reaction. That was funny.
Well, think about this. They had to recast Reed Richards a bunch of times. Nobody wanted this because
nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, what is how many glowingly successful Fantastic Four movies have there been?
As far as I actually like I think I actually own. I've got the Fantastic Four with the one that has the current Captain America as the Human Torch. I've got Rise of the Silver Surfer.
That one's not bad, but it's still not a glowing successful.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say it's glowingly successful, but I'm saying that I enjoyed it.
But this one, let's just be honest. Pedro will do this kind of role because he doesn't care if he's second fiddle to a strong woman, because he's like
Pedro will do whatever they ask him to do. I'm convinced
because he wants to show his face.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that's the whole point of him removing the supposedly religious helmet in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Even though the majority of the time he actually wasn't there.
A lot of people hate me on that. I still liked it, but everything else he's done, I just don't care.
As far as Mandalorian goes, I'm hot and cold on that. You need to ask me episode by episode if I like Mandalorian.
Yep. But let's continue this. While the film will indeed likely launch Marvel into a new era, given it will be followed up by Avengers Doomsday, and Avengers Secret Wars, which the Fantastic Four will be involved in. It's unclear if that new era will actually be an improvement or not. Additionally, it's unclear how much different this new era will really be compared to the old one. There are plenty of signals that this film will follow the trend that Marvel Studio has created over the last half decade by pushing feminist agenda, yes, and other shit in there with LGBTQ and other bullshit. The film's director, Matt Shakman, hinted at this while he was speaking to, Empire, as Chris mentioned earlier, revealing that Sue Storm is the leader of the Fantastic Four. Actually, it should be Reed Richards who are the leader. He is the father of the, but it doesn't matter. It has to be a woman.
Just look at the trailers. Who's the one that's speaking most of the time? Who's the one that's being the "we're going to do this" kind of stuff? It's not Reed Richards. It's Sue Storm.
Oh, because he's busy living a homosexual life, as you saw at the video.
But I mean, there is a story that they could have told with the setup that they have. Sue is with child. Reed is the leader of the Fantastic Four, and he's questioning himself because of whatever maybe he did to attract the attention of Galactus. And he is trying, and he feels down. He doesn't know what he should do. And Sue can be the emotional support and the, hey, you are the smartest man in the universe. You can do this, and I believe in you. You can save us and our child. and that inspires him to be the leader that we all know he can be. They could have done that, but no.
But that's just
no.
Exactly.
But
You
no.
know, he described her as an inspiring idealist leader of what Fantastic Four represents, and she is in some of the later comic runs, as we mentioned. He also claimed that she is, essentially the Secretary General of the UN. Actress Vanessa Kirby. This is also what we talked about earlier. Me and Tom, I remember that so well. Who plays Sue Storm, also told Entertainment Weekly the film would be exploring gender politics because that was her favorite part in the movie she talked about. That's one of her favorite things is like the gender politics. We don't want gender fucking politics in this fucking movie. Fuck off with the gender politics.
Especially a movie that is supposed to be the perpetual 1960s, 1950s.
Yes, and it's about family. There are families. It's about family, right?
But they don't want the nuclear family.
Ohana.
That's a bad thing. So,
yeah. Ohana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. And if given the film is being set in this kind of 60s retro futurism, it's hard to imagine the type of feminism that will be explored. Yeah. And Kirby said, if you played an exact 60s suit today, everyone would think she was a bit of a doormat. No.
Shut up! No! Damn it!
Exactly. Tom, just get it out. Get it out.
She's actually an amazing character. She is an amazing character with cool powers. You know, she's a very important part of the family. But no, she's a doormat. No, shut up. Don't tell me you read the comics without telling me you don't read the comics. Like, oh.
The only comics she has read a little bit that she talked about, or she's probably just used Wiki. I don't fucking know. But that, what she based her character off was, of course, the Temu version of the Phoenix.
What's her name?
Yeah, I don't remember the name at the moment in my head, but kind of a doormat. No, so figuring out how to capture the essence of what she represented to each generation, where the gender politics were different, and embody that today was one of the greatest enjoys of this.
Enjoys. Is that seriously what it says?
Yes,
enjoys.
That's what she said. Yes, that's what she said in the interview.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. They can't even speak correctly.
Yeah, no, it's the greatest joys of this.
Uh-huh.
So it's the greatest joy of everything, Gender politics is more important to her than a great story, But she gets paid. That's what she cares about. She gets paid and gets to do politics.
Remember, folks, these people in Hollywood believe that they know more and better than you.
Exactly. Kirby also added in the interview, one of the things I love most about Sue's history is when she becomes Malice. It was Malice, the TMU version of Phoenix, who's also really sexual, of course, and dark, and it's a different personality. It's not really Sue. It's like split personality. And all her dark stuff comes out. It's like, no, we don't want that. Most of us comic book geeks and people, we want to see Sue Storm. We want to see a proper Sue Storm story. We want to see a proper Fantastic Four story. Come on.
The sexual resolution was a horrible mistake.
And like they said in the end of that sentence, was it the stereotype of a goody, sweet mother? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being a mother?
Yeah, so let's get what more she said, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick, so I sound a little bit sick because I am a little sick, but
damn it.
No, you're actually sick from what you're reading. That's why you sound sick.
Because I read it I've read it so many times, this part with
but that's against the nuclear family, which we can't talk about. It's bad.
Exactly. And all her dark stuff comes out. We're talking about period. That she gets mad. All the dark stuff. I'm just kidding. I was obsessed with that chapter of her life. So I wanted to make sure that there were tones of malice in there with her. No, we don't want that. We do not want that. And if you ever want to introduce that story at some point,
Sure.
This is not the right fucking time.
Not when you're introducing them,
For the
reintroducing
first
them
time.
into
Yeah,
it.
for the first time in
Okay.
this universe they are in. Yeah.
There's a serious issue today where people have this idea that being a mother is weak. But in all honesty, it's probably one of the most important jobs out there for someone.
Yes.
It is one of the most
It's the
important
future of the
jobs out
human race.
there.
Without it, we
Or-
don't exist.
You
Mhm.
can do something that men cannot do. You can actually share in the creation of life with God. You are the one who nurtures, you take care, you help raise, you create the home. And people think that that is a weakness, but no, it's not.
Which is
It is
dumb.
not. And
We
another
have-
thing too, you
we
know,
we have how many thousands of years of people living because there was a mother that took care of their children.
yeah, and that's also what I want to say. Also, a big part of a mother's job is also help the kids to learn more of the emotion side of who they are with emotions and stuff like that. Because again, we are men. We're not always the best people with emotions, because that's not really our main job all the time.
Well, men are
That
more,
actually kind of has been my job for quite a while, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
I don't say that it's not normal that men can be like that, but I'm just talking about a general of what a mother is.
True.
Yeah,
Well, I
the
mean,
general of it.
men are more logically driven, whereas women are more emotionally driven. That's, you can look at the kind of jobs that they go into. Men are
That's
more.
why it's
willing to go
important
into.
to have both parts of the mother and father, so you get the
Yes.
balance of it all.
A mother is there
Mhm.
for nurturing and for taking care of. A father is there to show a boy how to be a man and show a daughter how to be a woman, or how a woman should be treated.
Exactly. So yeah, of course, you said that she wasn't just a stereotype of a goody, sweet mother, and we discussed that. And she continued with, again, I've always been really interested in the mess of femininity, and how can you do both?
Feminism was such a horrible thing. It's
How
done
can you
irreparable
be
damage.
all the things? Not just a tough, invincible, powerful woman, but also a mother who gives birth, which is a superhero act. She
Yes,
continued.
thank you.
Right?
I just said that. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that these characters are real humans in a messy family who argue and try to work it out and gets things wrong. Okay, yeah. um And of course, also continues with the film also had sex swaps. Silver Surfer, I'm gonna correct that again. It's not a sex swapped Silver Surfer or anything like that. It
No,
is an
it's not.
actual comic. It is an actual character from the comic, but it's a character that really nobody cared for and have never really cared for. And
I
when you
wasn't.
are,
I was going to say that it's not so much. Well, I mean, and you would know more about that than I do. But I was going to say that it's a character that is used only a few times versus what everyone thinks of as the Silver Surfer. So
yeah,
it was. So them saying that, yeah, it's already there. It's like, well, yeah, but why are you choosing that one?
Yeah.
And also,
exactly.
wasn't that version of the Silver Surfer only made like a single comic book appearance, and it was just a couple panels, and then they're gone?
Yeah, it's
Never
not
been
the
mentioned
character.
before again?
Yeah, the character has not been anywhere the big spotlight. It's like that character for many people is just like in the back.
And that's entirely different from finding a B-level superhero and making a movie around them. That's digging into the bottom of the toy box and finding a chipped,
Yes.
hardly ever seen toy at the bottom of the toy box and says, "Oh, let's do an entire thing about this character that
Yeah,
That's what I was going for. That's what I was going for with that. Yes, exactly.
That's perfectly said, but it fits the check boxes, so that's why we know.
yeah. But again, again, this is really stupid to do. Again, when you reintroduce the Fantastic Four, you are gonna have we are gonna have a Silver Surfer. Let it be the goddamn fucking Silver Surfer that all of us know and love and cherish. That's what the
An
fans
amazing
want, and that
character.
would
Exactly.
yes, exactly. It's like the Fantastic Four, the second one with the Silver Surfer back in the day. Yes, it's not the best movie ever created. They fucked up Galactus and stuff like that, but it was still an entertaining movie. And one of the big parts of the movie was Silver Surfer, the great. They got the great actor to play the body, great voice. They got every little single thing right with the character there. That's kind of what we want. We want a real Silver Surfer. We want the Silver Surfer. but with actress Julia Garner playing the character, speaking to Entertainment Weekly, Garner shared that she was surprised she was cast as a sex swapped Silver Surfer, given the character she knew was a male. Again, it's another two different characters, though. We met up at some restaurant in Burbank or something. Or something. She doesn't remember. I don't even remember, but I knew it was for the Fantastic Four. Garner shared. I was confused because I was like, "Wait, isn't the Silver Surfer a man?" I was like, "Okay, well, I play anything." So I guess she didn't get told that it's not a character in the beginning. I don't know. Garner also claimed that the movie was going to be different than other movies, as expected. Yeah, but her character was likely just a sex swap. Norman read. She said, "I knew who the Silver Surfer was. Maybe, I don't know."
She knows that the Silver Surfer was a character in the Fantastic Four because of, let's see here, what version of Fantastic Four is a little bit more popular than in the comics?
Exactly. And I got to know the Silver Surfer more. I signed on to the project. I really dived in. I read a lot of Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer comics before starting the project. I would love to debate on that if she did or not. Like not with you guys, but with her to see if she actually did, or just went on Wiki or just got a little page stuff of what some of the comic stuff. But again, if you go back to listen to the people who creates these movies, they don't care about the comics.
No.
Well, she's
And
always
like
been
somebody,
another. Sorry, I was just going to say she's always been a herald, but she was never the Silver Surfer except for one time, And it's like, no, she's still a character that we know of, to Galactus, but usually she's another character that not many
What
people talk about.
Which would you have preferred? Is that they do this whole Silver Surfer thing, or would you prefer that they actually stuck with her character as it is in the comics?
Yeah, I would have done that because, it would have made more sense. And you could have still brought the other Silver Surfer in, but we know why they did it though, because yeah.
Well,
no, we know that. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
I can at least say one thing. At least they did not bring in the daughter of Galactus yet, who is an over-sexualized, a little bit anime-looking daughter for Galactus.
Don't give them ideas.
But you never know. You never know.
I mean, she is in Marvel Rivals.
I know. But yeah, we don't need to read everything that says here. It's really long. Most of the stuff here we already know. Just talk about some of the characters. And of course, we are getting, the Galactus character. At least they got the Galactus looking right and actually, destroying the fucking planet. But
let's be honest, but he's probably going to. We're not going to give anything away with other films, even though technically, didn't this film start elsewhere? Technically, the whole universe.
This is
a different universe. Yes, and the Fantastic Four will go. Yeah,
stayed in that 1950s, 1960s realm, and just technology continued on with the 1950s, 1960s aesthetic.
Yep.
So it takes place in quote unquote modern times, but it's got a 1950s, 1960s aesthetic, which actually I do kind of like.
Well,
I like that aesthetic. That aesthetic is good.
Well, they used to do those world trade tours years ago in the 40s and 30s, and that's the future that we're supposed to be in now. Yeah, the Expos, and that's what we're supposed to look like now. So they're kind of playing on that. I do like that aesthetic. Exactly. It's like, wow, that was cool. But yeah. No, it's so it could be the modern times like here, but they just lived like the way we thought we were going to live. So it's like, I don't mind. But again, we know what's going to happen. So it's like,
Yeah,
we do.
I know exactly.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not giving spoilers away, even though Thunderbolts has been out for a while now. But yeah.
Yeah, no, so any final says on this?
I don't think so. Other than there's no real surprises with this, I don't think.
The funny part is the first trailer had me enticed. Like, oh, maybe. No. Second trailer ruined, and then they had to open their mouths in interviews.
Yeah.
It's like, nope.
Most of my knowledge on this comes from Clownfish TV, and that's kind of how Neon kind of sounded. It was like, ooh, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing here. Then,
yeah. First trailer, wow. Okay, maybe. No.
But
exactly,
but I still kind of want to watch it because Galactus looks like he might look cool. Is kind of where I think that he is right now. That's the
only thing. I just want to see him destroy the planet.
How's he going to destroy it? If he does, wink, wink. So
I wish he just killed all the characters so they could not go to the other universe. Just let Galactus win. He was like Thanos. He was right all along.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
Exactly. So we are closing up to the 2-hour mark. So we don't get to go through all the topics we had planned out for today because we were a little delayed, had to do some small changes because not all the panelists came today, so some of the topics were also for them.
And I would like to mention, everyone, I came into this, I knew nothing about anything that he had on here. I've been freewheeling this. I did not know anything.
Well, that's kind of the fun of it sometimes, right?
I don't think any of us did. So we're just coming blind and just.
Well, yeah, but you're saying that they had plans for various people. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't know anything.
Yeah, no, the other panelists. That's why I had some of the articles for certain panelists.
I just clicked the link that you sent me. I was like, what am I getting into?
The craziness.
I just woke up a couple hours ago and finished watching Table's test stream on Rumble. So
yeah, no, exactly. But one last final thing I want to say about Fantastic Four is yes, for me too, the first trailer looked interesting. I still had my issues with Pedro Pascal because I don't think he's a great actor. I don't like most of his characters are the same and boring, and he just he plays himself. And I had problems, with the Thing's accent because he didn't have the accent that we all know and want from him.
Doesn't really.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think it's the accent that's the issue. I think it's
I didn't actually watch the trailer, so I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't have the accent.
He doesn't have that gravelly tone to him.
No, he sounds like a bitch.
He sounds like just an ordinary person. He just sounds like an ordinary person. He doesn't have the gravelly tone that you would think would be associated with something, with a person that is basically a living rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, that was the two big issues I had with the first trailer. But other than that, everything else started to sell me a little bit and stuff like that. It's this looks interesting. It has me intrigued.
I think it was the continued Mr. Fantastic bashing in it. Oh, you're going to be a great mother, and you are a hopeless case.
Yeah, the second trailer for me to also ruin so much stuff, and also
what they could have done with that with that joke is they could have played on the whole thing of Mr. Fantastic can be absent-minded when he's focused on his projects.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But I don't feel like that's what they're gonna do.
No. And then of course, the actress and actor and all them came out, and of course also the creator of the movie and stuff like that. And also when the guy who plays, I like the guy who plays Johnny Storm. I liked him in Stranger Things. I think he's a He was, in my view, the perfect cast for it,
But then
but
again,
the way they view him, the way they talk about Johnny Storm in this movie, he's not like what is in the comics or the other movies.
Well, they
And
stripped him of his womanizing.
yeah, they ripped off his big personality traits and gonna be more into terms with life and normal things, and be more,
nobody wants that. But yeah.
cock.
You
He's gonna
mean
be more cock.
not Johnny Storm?
Yes,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
exactly. So when all that, it's like, no, that's will I watch it when it comes out? Not in cinema. I will watch it when it comes to like streaming or other platforms and stuff like that to see what they did with the movie. But
Oh, you know
bro.
me. I'll watch it somehow as a Captain Jack Sparrow. But other than that, yeah, no, I don't.
Oh, I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about. I have never ever sailed the high seas ever.
I'll probably be dragged to the theaters with my brother because he is excited to see this movie.
Well, have fun.
yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
all I can say. To have fun.
Thank you.
And I actually mean that that unironically because why not try to have fun?
Well, no, that's
Right?
what, like my buddy says. Mike says, Comic Relief says, "Hey, if you enjoy it, you win." That's the main thing.
Yes.
My brother is more forgiving on this kind of stuff. So
Yeah. No, but other than that, we are on the 2-hour marks, even though we do have a lot of articles. But I'm gonna save some of them for, of course, next streams and that and stuff like that. We're not gonna go for a 3-hour mark that we do sometimes. Because I also, for me, I also have to go off soon because I'm gonna go to a big event today with martial arts and stuff like that, and also
nice.
watch the new Karate Kid with those people who are good martial artists, and it's a whole school and stuff like that. So it's gonna be like a big event thing that I am gonna go to today. So if it wasn't for that, I would probably go a little bit longer, of course. But other than that, we're gonna go around the table and stuff like that. But any final thoughts about what we have talked about today? Chris, I know you have not been here the whole time, but you can add on to the small stuff that we talked about. We'll start with you, Tom. Any last things you want to say about everything we talked about today?
Not really. It's like we discussed it all. I could
Don't
vent
be
for
gay.
hours. That's just,
Be
no.
mentally aware.
I'm just burnt out from all that. It's just I don't care anymore. It's slowly DEI is going away, but that's different articles I'm reading, and hopefully Disney can realize this and get rid of it too. So let's hope.
We are allowed to hope one day on certain stuff.
They did end up firing like how many people recently?
So we'll just wait and see if it carries over.
Yep. And Netcat, any last things you want to say about the stuff we talked about?
Well, for the stuff we talked about, I'm just going to say happy Men's Health Awareness Month, and in the future, happy Gluttony Month for whenever we decide to have that.
Yes.
Because we've got Pride Month. How about the other? We need to represent the others.
Yeah, to represent everything.
Yeah, because
we cannot represent straight though.
So I'm just saying, we need if it's all about representation, we can't forget to represent the others.
But hey, now we have White Panther. We need to have a White Month too now.
That too, yeah.
Come on, yeah. They want to represent us in as a White Panther. Come on, man. Where is our month?
Come on,
come on,
come on, man.
Come on, man. And what about you, Spartacus, of the small things that you got to join in on?
Reject modern politics. Embrace tradition.
Modernity.
Thank you. And reject modernity, embrace tradition, and God bless everyone.
Yep. And with that,
wait. Let me say, instead of Pride Month, why don't we have Sloth Month? Everybody just sleep in all day.
Oh,
that'd be cool. Now, before you end it, though, I would like to mention that I am going to start up a Mass Effect 2 stream pretty much right
we
after
are gonna
this.
go around the
finishes.
table and commercial, the channels. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just making sure you weren't getting ready to end the stream before I said that.
No.
Sorry.
So don't worry, don't worry.
I do like what one person proposed as an alternate month, which is Noahic Covenant month.
Wow.
If you know
really
about your biblical terminology, Noah was the man who built the ark, survived the great flood, and after the end of it, God had a nice big rainbow up in the sky to show, I will never flood the world again.
Exactly.
Good
point, Chris.
Well, that one's still on the list. And so, hey, without Noah and what he trusted in God, we would not be here.
Yeah.
Good and well said, brother.
All of our great granddad.
And other than that, too, well said, Chris. Well said. We are gonna go to, of course, Netcat. Please, now you're allowed to promote your channel and what you're gonna do and all that.
Sorry about that. But yeah, I mostly game on my channel. I occasionally forgot about things that I decide to talk about, but I largely game. And currently, I'm playing through the Mass Effect games, and I'm on Mass Effect 2 with the team building exercises. So I'll be starting my stream up for that after this stream ends. And everyone, and as Jason always likes to say, I always pay attention to chat, and I always talk to chat. I do not. I actually don't ever. I think miss people talking to me. Because I figure if I'm going to ignore chat, why the hell am I streaming? But if I'm in the middle of a big fight, I won't acknowledge you until I'm done with that.
Of course. Part
of the fun of streaming is interacting with the chat. So yeah,
of course, and it's fun.
Exactly. No, I agree with that. Anything more you want to say?
I think that's most of what I'd say about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I almost called you Prismatics.
Seriously?
Can't deny or confirm if he is Prismatics or not, or if
his alternate persona.
Yeah, that's what we think here, because they are so similar in every little single thing. It's scary.
Other than the fact that I'm straight.
Yes, that's the only difference, that he's straight. So, if there's a split of personality, the other one is, LGBTQ plus being a shield, and the other one is, being super straight.
Yep.
But other than that, also,
other than that, they say that I'm Prismatics.
Yes. And with that, also, Spartacus, please commercial yourself where they can find you, all these channels you're on, and whatever you do out there. So please, share it out to the audience.
You can find me on X, where I just like and comment and occasionally comment on various things. I do have my own YouTube channel, which I haven't touched in about a year. I may
get back to it.
I may. And besides that, you'll also find me on my friend Tabletop Junkie's channel, where we do a lot of tabletop games. So he's on YouTube. He's now going to begin live streaming on Twitch and also Rumble as well.
Nice. Anything more you want to say? Any good wisdoms of words of God or anything you want to spread to the audience out there? Any people who will watch this later?
Trust God and follow Him with all your heart, mind, strength, and soul.
Yep.
Well said. Well said.
Oh, one thing I would like to mention. I would like to mention myself. I am Netcat Media. If anyone's looking for me, it's not Netcat Media.
It's not Prismatics Media.
Netcat Media. Sorry, it occurred to me because I was just searching Spartacus to subscribe to him, and it occurred to me that I didn't mention the full name of my channel. So Spartacus, you actually just got my subscription, but that's what made me think of saying that.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
And then, of course, remember Men's Mental Health Month, not Pride.
Yes.
Fuck Pride, remove Pride, we need to get rid of it. But other than that, Technosapien Geek, aka Tom, please promote yourself, your channel, your book, and everything that you're working on, where people can find you.
Well, the book I put in the chat just now, it's a book of poems I did in my late teens, early 20s. I illustrated it in my 30s when I was in art college, and you had the opportunity to read it and said I should do it. So, and other people too have said this could help people. So I got it out there. At the back, I actually put some locate, numbers, phone numbers if you need addiction problems or if you just need somebody to talk to. Because I mean, sometimes you don't have friends around or family around, and I know what that's like. Even up to recently, reach out to somebody if you feel alone. And on top of that, let me see the channel. I've added video gaming to the channel, which I just did, like I said, 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row. I can't do streaming because I get lost into a game. Unlike other people, I try to stream Destiny, and I love Destiny. I'll stream it sometimes, but I get lost because I'm so into the game. I need a moderator to say, hey, somebody in the chat's talking to you. Oh, okay. I would get lost otherwise.
I
I'm
know
serious.
the feeling. I used to, when I first started playing Destiny, I used to become so focused on it, I
Yes.
would stop blinking.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
It gets right into it. So that's
They
why.
say that being attention deficit actually helps on this.
I got bad ADHD, trust me, but it's just I'm
Oh,
so into the.
trust me,
I
I
get
got it, dude.
I get lost into every game. I like and yeah, no. But
ADD
I
is
might
such
sometimes
fun.
stream sometime. I'll stream Destiny occasionally. I don't care if people are paid. I'll just kind of but I get the monitor. Eventually I'm gonna get a new monitor that I can put close to it, vertical, and maybe it'll be better to see. Working on vlogging. If I get my grant, I gotta get a new camera, mic set, and a gimbal. People seem to like my vlogs talking about my city and my goal, hopefully, fingers crossed, to go to the UK in the fall for my birthday. And I want to start doing travel vlogs as well. And Technosapien means I'm about electronics. I want to teach people how to use cameras. I get a video on there teaching people how to do photography at a cheap price. If you don't have much money, you can use your phone. You can use cheaper point and clicks. And I do a little bit of everything. But like I said, this month is the most video games I've put up. I put tons of them. It's a lot, basically let's plays, going old school. And I do Fallout 3, which hopefully the remaster is coming out this year or next year. Oblivion Remastered, which I'm having a blast, and Sleeping Dogs. Saturday, that usually on Saturdays, and Saturdays will rotate. But usually between those three games right now is what I'm playing. And like I said, I'm working on another book now that I get the gaming up for a month. I can take some time working on my black and white photography book. And yeah, that's about it. I'm keeping busy. And now I'm glad to be back with you. And hopefully, if Mike, my buddy Comic, can get his show back up, he's working right now. So he's working out a schedule, but we'll get back over there as well. The Comic Relief Crusader, once he gets that set up as well.
You normally find us there too when we do streams.
Yes.
Anything more? That's it.
That stuff, wrestling. I'll talk wrestling too. I can talk that up.
There we go.
I'm trying to get my foot in a door with AEW. I'm saying, hey Tony, I'm good at reviewing stuff. Hire me to do your web stuff. So come on, hire me.
I agree. I do agree. And with that, here you can always find me, of course, here on our channel, FiveFourtyStudio. With the Beyond and also Skullcast on Saturdays, because we are back now. So hopefully we will do a Skullcast this Saturday, hopefully, and have some more gaming talk. I was thinking on Saturday, because we did have the state of play, and we also have something tomorrow, and some stuff we can go through. And other than that, I am really busy with a lot of working recently with everything from music to videos to a lot of other stuff like that. Also been working, even though my book is basically done, just doing some small rewrite stuff here and trying to figure out some small parts here and there. So I am still working on my book. I've got some questions about it, but I will release the book. I'm aiming next year, at some time next year. That's what I'm aiming for. I hope that I will get done with it 100% and before next year, so I can get a official release date on everything there. Other than that, you can, of course, with Comic Relief Crusaders on Fridays and Tuesdays when he comes back normally. But again, as Tom said, he is gonna figure stuff out and stuff like that because he has work.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will find me with Vinyl Revival over on Rumble, where we talk about music and stuff like that. Sometimes we are trying to interview musicians and stuff like that. So we are gonna try to see if we can get some more musicians on to interview at the same time.
Nice.
And sometimes you can also find me with, of course, Sir Talks a Lot, aka Corey, when he comes back and do some of his other streams and not gaming streams. You can sometimes find me there. And a lot of course, other stuff is gonna come out. Been working on a lot of merch and other stuff like that. Have been debating maybe I will try at some point again to do gaming streams at some point again. Have been debating it. It's actually Chris that kind of inspired me to actually wanting to try that again because he was nice enough and gifted me 3 games, and I kind of wanted to play one of those games on on stream because I think that would be fun with the audience to play that game. But we will see what happens because I need to get one more screen on my streaming computer because that's my old computer that I'm gonna use for it. What else? Yeah, if you ever need an editor for film, pictures, whatever it is, but mostly, when it comes to film and videos and stuff like that, that's my main job and what I've been working on with so many years. So if you ever want, to hire me to do film videos and stuff like that, I'm always up for hire. You can always find me on X, Discord, and other stuff. But mainly Discord is X is the best place to get a hold of me. And if you can't get a hold of me, you can always try to contact some of my co-workers in FiveFourtyStudio or some of my friends if you are interested. And I'm really nice with the prices compared to many other people out there because I have seen the prices, some of what people do, and at the same time I see their work and the prices, and I'm here like just scratching my head a little how
Yeah.
stupid it is. I want to use another word, but since we are more PG these days, I'm not going to say that word. But yeah, really just a little bit mental challenged. It's the nicest way I can say it. And other than that, as I always say, just remember, life's too short, make the most of it. And we on this panel and 5-4 Studio, we love you, we appreciate you, and none of us could have been here today if it wasn't for all of you great people out there. Thank you for the love and thank you for the inspiration to make us continue doing this. So just thank you. It means the world to us. And with that, we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks.
Goodbye.